Hey y'all, it's Michelle, and I want to talk about how starting a new job honestly can feel very overwhelming, especially if you're transitioning into like a whole new career. You just graduated. I want to talk to you guys about some of the things I've done in my DevOps, engineering, systems engineering roles to help me build the confidence in my career, especially when you're working with very, very talented people who've been in the field for a long time. So stay tuned. So the first thing I'll say is, and I hate to say it because it sounds very corny, but you have to have a mindset shift about what it means to build confidence. It's not something that you just wake up with. It's something that you honestly have to build yourself, especially when it comes to your career. So you may not just wake up and be like, oh, I'm the best DevOps engineer ever. Like, I didn't wake up that way. I didn't wake up like, oh, I'm the best systems engineer out here. No, I had to actually build that confidence and have the confidence that I have currently in my role. The second thing that really helped me, and there's honestly no way of getting around this one, is you have to get your skills up. It's equal to each other. The higher your skills are, the more confident you feel in the workplace and the more secure you feel about your job, or the more secure you feel about your career and being able to pivot and get another job. You will feel more comfortable and confident in those rooms when you know what you're talking about. And in order for you to know what you're talking about, whatever your specific role is, you need to get your skills up. So another thing I like to do is break down my task at work into small actionable items, and so that there feels like there's some form of end date, right? So I had a problem where I was working on a project and it was more research based until we figured out which one we were going to go with, and it just felt never ending. So it felt like I really never had anything to show for the work that I've done, which made me not feel confident. It made me be like, am I really contributing to this team? Like, what is that? So I talked to my manager and I said, I need something that's like, I need a side work that is small, that has a complete and it's going to be used in order, like, and I didn't necessarily say in order for me to feel important, but it would really, that's really what it was. It was in order for me to feel like I was really contributing to the team. I needed something that I can close. Whereas this project is like a never ending project until like we decide, like, it's not never ending, but it was something that just wasn't going to be implemented for a while. And then even when it comes to that type of project, what I did was I also just broke down the task in that project into smaller actionable items so that they could see that what I'm working on. And this sounds crazy because especially if you don't like speaking in front of people, but I also scheduled demos. Like, I needed them to see what I was doing as well, so I could get feedback on it. I can see like, okay, this is what I'm working on, so they could see this is what I'm working on. But breaking down my task into actionable items that I could actually close, the feeling of being able to move a task from to do to in progress, then the in progress to complete, it feels good. I don't know how to describe that, but it feels great. You'll have a sense of accomplishment when you're actually able to show to your team the different things that you've been working on. And when you break them down into small tasks, you'll actually be able to close those tasks so you can show it to them. So that was another thing that I did that was very helpful to me in building my confidence and also showing that, hey, I'm completing tasks. So another thing that would help you build confidence is understanding the learning curve. When I decided I wanted to take programming seriously, scripting seriously, I had to remind myself of what the learning curve cycle for that is. So I'll put a photo of it, but it's, for me, what the learning curve looked like was I would start something, nothing made sense. I would feel overwhelmed. I was just like, I'm not getting it. Then I would start to get it. And then problems would happen. I would run into errors, logs, whatever, and then I'll start to get it. So remembering that whole process is until it clicks, and then it starts over again. So remembering what the learning curve is and remembering that I'm learning something new. So giving myself grace in the fact that this is not something that I've learned before. And one thing that always helped me with learning and during that learning curve is closing my laptop and trying again tomorrow. And I'm not saying procrastinate, but sometimes when I'm running into the same errors as I'm trying to learn something new, I do need to just start afresh. Like, I need to start with a fresh mind and everything. So going to sleep, waking up the next day, or going on a walk so that my mind could just relax and then come back and look at it from a brand new set of lenses, brand new set of eyes, just like giving it a different viewpoint. So that was something that I also did that helped me build confidence, because when I remember that I'm learning something new, this is something different for me, I was able to give myself grace, which also helped me build confidence in my career. And it also helped me learn better, which helped me build confidence. So I'm adding this one because I do it here and there, but it's something that I actually want to make sure I practice more. And that's documenting my wins. So when you're able to work on something and it's implemented, or when you get a good job from a coworker or a good job from a customer, actually documenting it. It builds confidence, obviously, because somebody's giving you like your good job. But the other thing is that it's really good for when you're doing your review. So later on, when you're doing your yearly review with your manager, you have something to look back at. It's something that I do here and there, but probably not enough. And then also sometimes when you're looking at the different things you're doing, say you're stuck on something, reminding yourself of the other things you've accomplished, the congratulations you had, the good job you had, the, oh, Michelle was able to help this get through XYZ. Those things will help build you confidence. You're like, yo, this is not the first time I came to a problem. I was able to do this with something else and I solved it. So that will help build confidence. So one thing that helps build confidence, honestly, is getting feedback. And that's why I said earlier about doing different demos. So once you're able to do a task or something, doing a demo in front of your team, in front of your peers, is really helpful because you get feedback from them. It is kind of uncomfortable because, you know, like honestly, demo days when things don't like to work, but whatever. So like, but when you're doing a demo, you're actually able to show what you've learned. You're also able to get feedback from your peers. They're able to tell you like, oh, hey, have you heard of this? You might want to try this or whatever. So it just might be, it's better to get the feedback so you can improve. I mean, sometimes it's really uncomfortable when somebody's like, it seems like they're pinpointing you, but they're honestly just doing it to help you in order for you to get better. Doing demos and getting feedback from your peers, and then also incorporating the feedback. So like they gave you feedback and you just not saying like, oh, okay, they gave me feedback, whatever. But you taking the feedback and being like, okay, somebody mentioned this tool. Let me go see if I can go apply this tool. And then that also will help build confidence and also make it so that you and your coworkers, your teammates, you guys have a better bond. Like you actually have a better connection and friendship with them. So another thing that is going to help you build confidence in your career is having a mentor. And I think it's perfectly fine to have multiple mentors. I honestly just asked one of my coworkers who is more senior and very like really technical to be my mentor. And just off of the first meeting alone, he already dropped the gem and was telling me about how he thinks about infrastructure as code, what he thinks would be best for this, how when I'm learning, like not learning, but how when I'm applying things to not first go straight into coding, but to first go into designing, look at it from an architectural point of view. Like I already, from the first meeting alone, had already learned a lot. And it helps build confidence. It helps build some form of structure, especially if you're like me and you didn't come from the software structured background. I came from a STEM background, but not a software systems engineering. I was a mechanical engineer. And I know this is all engineering, but they're completely different. So I've always was like, I need to make sure I get a good technical mentor so that I can get that structure and that foundation. And that's one thing that honestly has helped me build confidence in my career. So this one actually has been my favorite. So I think that if you want to build confidence, you need to be able to reinforce the learning that you've done. The best way to do that is teaching others. And I've done it even when I was in college. So when I was in college, me and my group of friends, once one of us understood something, we would wait for the other person to get it so they can teach us. And then we knew that you got it if you were able to teach it back to us. And that's something that has stuck with me even to this day. Like once a week, me and a group of friends who are all interested in programming, I teach Python and I teach them what I learned in Docker and Kubernetes and AWS and all that stuff. And it's really, as much as it is for them, it's honestly really just for me, because I'm like, I truly know that I'm getting these new commands, these new concepts and everything if I'm actually able to explain it to people who haven't used it before. So I think that's another thing that helps me build confidence. And this all goes back to really having the skill sets and really upping your skills. So all of it really goes back to that. But being able to teach back to the people the skills that you've learned is very important. You are able to actually show like, okay, I truly do get this. I don't get this just in theory. I get it practically. I know how to apply it and I know how to teach it to other people. So that's another way to build confidence in your career. So y'all tell me, which of these confidence building tips have you tried and are going to try? Let me know in the comments below. I hope this was all very helpful. If it is, make sure you subscribe so that we're going to keep talking about your career, your tech journey, engineering journey, and just lifestyle in general.